Good evening, Muhammad Sonic Boom here, and today I am going to demonstrate the new the new Parshath counter deck profile. Since I recently got 3 structure decks of Wave of Light, and unfortunately I have no other cards yet, so it's only just probably 70-ish% complete or so, or 80-ish%. I'm not sure yet. Haven't got any extra deck yet though. But without further ado, we'll go demonstrate the deck. So starting with this, I want 2 copies of Sacred Arc Aeronite Parshath. Because due to its effect, each time, when I activate a counter trap, or if I negate the activation of a spell, a trap, or a monster effect, a monster effect like effect Valor, Ash Blossom, Joyous Spring, or another new zombie tuner monster. Or Herald of Orange Light, which I have. You can banish 2 fairies, special summon them from the graveyard or the hand. And with that, you can do piercing battle damage. And when my opponent takes battle damage, I get to add up a Parshath card or counter trap from my deck to my hand. So Sacred Arc Aeronite Parshath will be the only card I'll run, yes. I also run 2 copies of Neo Parshath, the Sky Paladin, because with it I can summon it by tributing a Aeronite Parshath, and when it attacks a defense position monster, my opponent takes piercing battle damage. And when I take piercing battle damage, when my opponent takes battle damage, I get to draw a card. But with that, when my life points are higher, due to Sanctuary in the Sky, gaining attack and defense points equal to the difference, I will use Sanctum or just regular field spell Sanctuary in the Sky. Which I like to run is Neo Parshath, the Sky Paladin. Yup. Also, I run 2 Aeronite Parshath because he can deal piercing battle damage, and for that you get to draw a card from your deck. Yes. And I also run 3 copies of Power Angel Valkyria. Because when I negate the activation spell, trap, or monster effect, especially if you negate with effect Valor or Ash Blossom, or any other like Herald of Orange Light, you can add up a light attribute fairy type monster deck to your hand. You can add either like Archlord Christia or Aeronite or Neo Parshath, whatever. Who knows? Power Angel Valkyria could be the only card I like to run. Also, 2 copies of Metiel, Sage, and Minerva, Scholar of the Sky. But each time a counter trap activates, he gains 5, and it resolves, it gains 5 earned attack. And if it does, when it's actually Sky on this field, I get to add a counter trap to my grave to my hand. I like Minerva so much. Also run 1 Eva, because since it's a graveyard, I can banish 2 other light attribute fairy type monsters to my field or grave, and add the same number of level 2 or lower light attribute fairy type monsters. I can either add any kind, like only with different names like Herald of Orange Light or whatever. Oh no. I run 3 copies of Guiding Aerodine, because it's a Guide Aerodine, when set to Pendulum Scale, I apply these effects. And with that, I don't have to pay life points or discard any activate counter traps. And the best part is, when it's destroyed by battle or card effect, I can reveal 3 counter traps, my opponent chooses 1 for me to add to the hand, and then sell it back to the deck. I don't know what to do without Guiding Aerodine. I run 3 copies of Bountiful Artemis. Because due to Bountiful Artemis, I can draw a card immediately after a counter trap resolved. Oops, my bad. Due to Bountiful Artemis, I get to draw a card for each counter trap it resolves. It's what I like to run. Yep. Also, 2 copies of Herald of Orange Light. Because it's a Herald of Orange Light, when my opponent activates a monster effect, I can send another fairy from my hand to the graveyard to negate it and destroy it. Simple if you negate it, and then when you negate the effect, you can send 2 of them and bring out Sacred or Parshath from my hand or graveyard. Or if you use Power Angel Valkyria, when you negate it, I can add a fairy monster, Especially with Minerva. No, Minerva doesn't work. Only Power Angel Valkyria and Sacred Arc. Parshath works. Yeah. Also, I run 3 copies of Nova Summoner. Because when he's destroyed, he can special summon a light attribute fairy type monster and return less tap points from your deck. Any kind, yeah, like Honest. Or another tuner. So you can synchro summon next turn, which I don't have any synchro monsters in my extra deck yet, no. That's all I like to run, you know. Nova Summoner. I run 2 Honest. Because with that, you can... Because if you just summon it with Nova Summoner, you can return to your hand during your main phase. And then, yep. Because it says here... Yep, because it says here during your main phase, you can send it from your hand to the graveyard. And you can have it gain its attack points. You can have it gain its attack points equal. And you can send it from your hand to the graveyard. Yeah, that's what I like to run. You know, to honest. I run 2 Hecatries because with it you can discard Hecatries to add Valhalla, Hall of Fallen from your deck to your hand. Yes, Hecatries is always come in handy. I also run a few other cards like 1 Handy Water, so you can send it to the graveyard and you don't take any effect damage. Especially with Meltiel, because due to Meltiel, when a counter charge activate after it is resolved, I gain 1,000 life points. And if Sanctuary is gone, I feel like I destroy a card. I run 1 Archlord Christia, because when I have exactly 4 fairies in my graveyard, I can special summon it. And if summoned this way, I can target 1 fairy type monster, add it to the hand, and neither of us can special summon monsters, yeah. But if it was sent to the graveyard, I can place it on top of the deck, and I can still special summon it again if I have 4 fairy type monsters. Also on 1 Layout, a little bit later, because when a counter traps activate, I can add 2 banished fairies. Like so. And Splendid Venus is quite the card you should run, because all non-fairy monsters lose 500 attack and defense points, and the activation of my spell and traps activated on my field can't be negated. Splendid Venus is somewhat the best. Especially with Tethys, yeah. With Tethys God as a light, when I draw a fairy with Bountiful Artemis' effect, I can reveal a fairy and keep on drawing. Especially if I use Tethys, yeah. Especially if I use Tethys, yeah. Goddess of Light. And if when I activate Bountiful Artemis, I can draw a card, yeah. Because when I draw a fairy, I can use Tethys' effect to reveal a fairy and draw again. Yeah, you'll keep on doing this, vice versa. Vice versa, whatever. Also, 1 copy of Harvest Angel. Because with Harvest Angel, when it's destroyed, I can add back a counter trap to my graveyard to my hand, yeah? That's what I like to run. That's all for the monsters. We're gonna go with the spells, though. For the spells, I run 3 copies of the Sanctum of Parshath. You see, with Sanctum of Parshath, his name becomes Sanctuary in the Sky when on the field. Yup, Sanctuary in the Sky on the field. And, or in the graveyard. And all fairy type monsters gain 300 attack and defense, and spells and traps cannot be targeted or destroyed by... Set spell and traps cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects. And once turn, you can target a total of 3 fairy type monsters or counter traps, up to the... Only with different names, and you can place them on top of the deck in any order, so you can use it again if you want. That's all I like to run. Also run 1 Sanctuary in the Sky, because this is the only field spell you ever want to run, because battle damage from a fairy type monster I take will be 0. I run 2 copies of Celestial Transformation, in case if you have, like, for these monsters, you can just summon any fairy type monster, but its tap points is cut in half, and it's destroyed, but its tap points are cut in half, and it's destroyed during the end phase. I like running 2 Celestial Transformations. I also run 2 Valhalla, because when I have no monsters once turn, I can summon a fairy type monster from my hand. You can bring out either Tethys or Sacred Arch, or Archlord Steel, whatever. Also, I run 1 copy of Ties of the Brethren. You gotta pay 2,000, target level 4 lower monster you control for the rest of its turn after it's resolves. You can't supposed to summon monsters. Also, you can summon 2 monsters from my deck with the same type attribute level as the monster, but with different names. But I can't battle this turn. Names from each other and that monster, but I can't battle this turn, you know. Can't conduct my battle phase. But the Swords of Revealing Light is so good. It remains on the field, but it's destroyed during the end. But it only goes on the field for three of your opponent's turns. And you gotta flip your monsters face up when you activate Swords of Revealing Light. Yeah. Focus. Yep. While face on the field, your opponent's monster can't attack. Also, one Cosmic Cyclone. Just in case, yeah? Because I can target once, pay 1,000, target spell, trap, and banish it. Yeah. Now we go to traps. For traps, I run 3 copies of Rebirth of Parshath. Because when a spell, trap, or monster event is activated, I can reveal a counter trap, discard, pay 1,000, negate, and discard, pay 1,000, negate, and destroy it. But due to Gaia Aerodine, I don't need to pay anything. Yes. And with that, I can easily spell summon a Parshath monster in my deck or extra deck, like either a Avenging Knight Parshath or a Parshath monster, any kind, yeah? That's what I like to run. It's shuffle back to the deck, yeah? Even if you negate it and shuffle it back to the deck, yes. I run 2 copies of Divine Punishment. Because with Divine Punishment, when a spell tower monster effect is activated, while it Sanctuary Skies on the field, I can negate and destroy it. This is what I like to run on Divine Punishment. Yeah, well, I run 3 copies of Ultimate Providence. Because with Ultimate Providence, when a spell, trap, or a monster is activated, I can discard a card of the same type, and I can negate and destroy it. But, I don't need... But with Gaia Adrian, you don't need to... With Gaia Adrian on the Pendulum Zone, you don't need to discard anything with it, yeah. I run 2 copies of Drastic Dropout, because when my opponent adds a card from my deck to the hand, including drawing, it has to be discarded. Drastic Dropout can be easy, you know. Especially with Solemn Warning, because I have to pay 2,000 when a monster will be summoned, or a spell trap or monster is activated that includes the effect that special summons a monster, yeah. Even with Gaia, I have to pay 2,000 to negate it, but Solemn Warning, I don't need to do Gaia Adrian, I don't need to pay for it. Unless if I have Solemn Strike, which I don't have. Also, I have 1 Dark Bribe, Recall, and Storming Mirror Force. Yep. If only if I had more, some cards to fit for the deck, you know. Although it's only 80% complete. 80-ish% complete, yeah? Well, that's all for the deck. And this is Muhammad Sonic Boom, over and out.